Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emily, also known as Emily the Mystic, and I'm so excited to dive into another video with you today. This one is full of a lot of healing information to help you navigate your spiritual journey. So I'm excited to get into it as always because the topic of today's video is one that has been coming up for a lot of my clients recently, myself recently, and so I thought I would put a video together to help you to understand this topic and why it may be coming up for you in your life, how to navigate this energy when it is coming up for you so that you can move forward and find healing in your life. So if you don't know about me and this is the first video that you're watching, as Emily the Mystic, I am an Akashic Records master reader. I am a channeler for galactic beings. I am a spiritual mentor and intuitive, and I help my clients have more fun in their lives by navigating some of the heavier things, like doing shadow work, like discovering their past lives, learning how to work with their intuition and their spirit guides so that they can fully enjoy their human life here on planet Earth. And so with all of that in mind, because my thing is about having more fun, enjoying your life, and really finding more ease and flow, how do you navigate those times of your life that don't feel like ease and flow? Those times of your life that feel chaotic and challenging and difficult, and where you really feel like you are deep in the trenches of some major human stuff that's going on. So this video is all about the dark night of the soul and how that impacts your manifestation journey and how to navigate death and rebirth as a human. And by death and rebirth, I don't mean physical death or the death of your physical body. I mean energetic death and letting go and releasing and clearing and making space for new to come in. Because here's the thing, you guys, as human beings, we are all at some point going to be learning some challenging lessons or put through some challenging situations, whether in our own life or witnessing that in our family members or other people in our life. And all of that can feel really uncomfortable and really unsafe and really sticky. But on the other end of the spectrum, when we've worked through and healed and shifted from all of the heaviness, that creates space for more lightness, more joy, more play, more pleasure on the other side. But we can still learn how to hold ourselves in a safe space when we are going through those more challenging situations. So this video is for any of you who, while navigating your spiritual journey, you feel like you're being put through a bit of a dark night of the soul. And I feel like there's a little bit of a misconception about what the dark night of the soul is all about in the spiritual community. There are people who say that you only go through it once and that it's like this one and done thing. When you wake up to your spiritual nature, you go through this dark night of the soul and then that's it. And then life is easy, life is good, it never happens again. Unfortunately, that isn't really the case. And Dark Night of the Soul is just basically slapping a label on a challenging time of your life, a challenging period, whether that ends up being a week for you or a couple of months or even a whole year where you really feel like you're being put through the ringer of your human life. We can call that a Dark Night of the Soul. And what it is from an energetic perspective, it's going through this death process, this death of the old version of you, death of old belief systems, perhaps old life situations in your life, an old living situation, an old career, an old business even, or old relationships. And as those things are dying and we're letting go of them and releasing them, on the other end of the spectrum, we're so close to manifesting and calling in the things that we want, the things that we're desiring, whether that be love or money or success or opportunities or whatever the thing is for you. So I wanted to put together this video for those of you who feel like you're really being put through the human ringer right now. Perhaps you are navigating some challenging life situations, family situations, you've got some chaotic stuff going on in your life. Perhaps you're in a bit of an emotional turmoil, you're navigating trauma or healing from trauma, and you just feel like you're really in the mud. You're in the trenches, you're in the arena with all of it, and you're wondering like what's on the other side? Why is it even worth it to be human and to have to deal with all of this stuff? What's waiting for me on the other side of this? So if that's you, I feel you, I see you. I'm going to talk about some of my personal experiences with this. I'll get a little vulnerable with, well, not just a little, I'll get vulnerable with you guys around how this has come up for me in my own life. Because as Emily the Mystic, I give off this really beautiful persona of love and happiness and fun. And absolutely, that is me. I'm a Pisces. Like, I'm all about that energy, but I'm also navigating the human stuff and the pain and the challenge right along with you guys. I've been through a fair number, many dark nights of the soul myself. So I know what it's like, and I got you, and you're in a safe space. And I hope that some of the suggestions and the things that I give you in this video will help you find healing with whatever it is that you have going on. I work with a lot of clients one-on-one over a long period of time. And when they come to me, they always have the intention of manifesting something relatively big, such as a major shift in career, such as starting a soul-aligned spiritual business, such as growing their business and getting more success and money and abundance, or perhaps finding love, finding relationships. And so when we first start working together, they've declared to the universe, okay, I want this thing. I want this major shift in my life. I'm ready for it. Like, what do I need to do? And then over the course of several weeks or months or whatever is needed for them to get to the place of manifesting what they want, they go through a bit of a dark night of the soul where the universe is literally reflecting back to them very, very clearly, okay, you claim that you want the soul-aligned business. Well, here's what's going on in your job that's no longer aligned. Here are things about your romantic partner that are triggering you that can't come with you on your way to becoming a soul-aligned business owner. Here are some challenging family dynamics that you need to take a look at because you can't continue to operate the same way and in the same energy and with the same belief systems that you've been up until this point in order to have the thing that you want. So things start to fall apart a little bit. And that's not a bad thing. Again, it's the universe helping you, co-creating with you to clear space for the things that you really want and the things that you really are desiring for yourself. And along this path, you're going to discover that in order to become the version of you that has the things that you want, the soul-aligned business, the romantic partner, whatever it is, that you're going to need to heal some wounds that have been festering and that you've been holding on to for a very, very long time. Perhaps things that you've buried from your childhood, or perhaps things as ancient as past life karmic issues or challenges. Go check out my past life video that I posted last week for a ton of information all about that. But all of these wounds come to the surface so that they can be healed and so that you can shift into the energy, the belief systems, the way of being to become the version of you that you need to be to have the thing that you want. So, for example, for me, I used to work in the corporate world and now I am an entrepreneur and a full-time business owner. I could not be the corporate version of Emily and be this business owner. I couldn't do it. I would be like a fish out of water. I couldn't hold space for people. I couldn't give you great guidance like I'm giving you today in this video. So I had to do a lot of shifting and deep work and healing of my own wounds in order to become this version of Emily, in order to become Emily the Mystic, to be serving all of you today. And so that process can feel like a literal crumble. It can feel like, if you love tarot and read tarot cards, it can feel like a tower moment, like the tower card, where things are literally crumbling and falling apart all at once. And by the way, it doesn't have to feel so dramatic. We can go through dark nights of the soul that are more simple or that feel a little bit less challenging. But sometimes, depending on the level of what it is that you're manifesting, things can feel pretty intense. Things can feel pretty dramatic or challenging. So if that's you, know that there's nothing wrong with you, or that you're not a bad person for having all of this, chaotic and challenging situations in your life. It's all part of the process. And things are going to feel like they're in a little bit of a state of upheaval. But again, it's so that you can become the version of you that you need to be in order to have the thing that you want. So for a lot of my clients, they will, again, for example, declare that they want the soul aligned business. And then they've got 10 different crises at work that come up. They feel triggered by their current boss. They have a work trip that's planned that messes with some sort of business activity or event that they've planned. And all of a sudden, it feels really uncomfortable to be in that old job. Perhaps you've moved from a place of safety and comfort and normalcy in your day-to-day life in that job to all of a sudden feeling like, wow, I can't be here anymore. This is really painful. I don't like my coworkers. I can't function in this job anymore. That's absolutely what happened for me when I went from declaring to the universe that I wanted to be a full-time spiritual entrepreneur and the process of having to quit my job. So I'm going to share with you exactly what happened because it was pretty crazy. It was pretty wild. And I did the best that I could to navigate that time of my life with ease. So when I was working in the corporate world, I was studying spirituality on the side. I was doing readings for clients before and after my workday. It was really exhausting. It was really tiring. I knew that I needed to leave the company that I was working for because it didn't feel aligned with me anymore and it just wasn't a good fit. And I knew that I wanted to move fully into business. So I declared to the universe, okay, I'm going to quit my job at the beginning of 2021 and I'm ready. Like, let's go. I'm ready. What happened? My mom specifically went through a health crisis. In fact, a major health crisis. And for purposes of her privacy, I'm not going to share with you exactly what happened, but she was diagnosed with a major health condition and had to have a major extensive surgery done. And at the same time, my dad also broke his wrist. So literally my mom had a major health crisis. My dad broke a bone. And so my dad couldn't help my mom. And my mom couldn't help my dad. And so Emily and her old patterns and old ways of being and needing to take care of her family and take responsibility for her parents was the one that needed to go home to help them out, right? And Emily, old version of Emily, fear-based version of Emily from the corporate world could have said, holy shit, I can't handle this. I can't handle quitting my job and starting a business and helping my parents navigate these health issues and crises. I have to just stay at the job because it's comfortable and it's safe and I'll help my parents navigate stuff, but I need to forget about myself and my passions and not focus on the business and just put all of that behind me until I can get my parents healthy and help them out. And then and only then can I move forward and focus on me. So that would have been what the old version of Emily would have done. However, I knew that it was the universe challenging me to step into authority and leadership and my sovereignty. And so I had to make a choice that was the best thing for me at the time, which was, despite everything that my family had going on, to quit my job in the middle of all of that. And you're probably thinking, Emily, that's crazy. Like, how did you navigate that? How did you handle that? That was the exact thing that I needed to do in order to create space for this business to be born. And I trusted myself. I chose myself. I chose my own needs. And I trusted that everything would work out. And I surrendered to that. I jumped, I leaped. And sure enough, I created this business, which over time has become an incredible part of my life, an incredible full-time career for me, a very financially successful, profitable career path, which is incredible. And that may not have happened, or it may have taken more time, or I may have put it off and put it off and put it off if I had chosen to focus on everybody else's needs and not focus on myself. And yes, I did go home. I did help navigate the surgery with my mom and help my dad and did what I needed to do in order to get them back into good health. But I still quit my job and I came home after that and I launched myself fully into my business. And it worked out exactly as it needed to. And each time a situation like that happens for me in my own life, I know that it's putting me into a deeper level of trust within myself and with the universe. And it's helping me learn how to surrender more, to let go of the control of what's going on in my external reality, and to be able to allow the universe to support me and to co-create with me and to do that beautiful dance of manifestation with the universe. And in fact, again, at the beginning of this year, I declared to the universe I'm ready for my next level of being and success and business success. And lo and behold, another family crisis happened at the beginning of this year. And so I know, and that taught me again, you can help family and you also have to take care of yourself and your own needs. And for me, that came down to, okay, I can help family on X, Y, and Z date, but I also have to set boundaries and I can't help them, the whole month or 10 days in a row or whatever that was for me. Like I can be a family member and I can also focus on myself and my own needs. And learning that and learning how to navigate that and learning deeper levels of trust in myself and my gifts and being on the right path has helped me manifest some really great opportunities that have been coming through. And I know even more that will be happening over the course of this year as well. And so that's my story and sort of what has happened for me in terms of the dark night of the soul. I've also gone through I've lost a lot of loved ones in my life. That's part of the reason why I know that I have mediumship gifts. Well, besides, of course, doing readings for people, but I have a lot of mediumship gifts because I have so many loved ones on the other side, and it has helped me facilitate a connection with them. But all of that has also launched me into the better parts of my journey. Navigating the harder things has led me to beautiful moments of joy and play and pleasure and so forth on the other side of all of that. I have a dear one-on-one client who, when we started working together, she was like, okay, I'm ready to really grow my business and be a full-time business owner. And I'm so excited to work with more clients and really focus my energy there. And as soon as she declared that, she had a series of really challenging family situations going on. She thought that her living situation was stable, and all of a sudden the universe showed her, no, this living situation is completely unstable for you. You need to move out. You need to move somewhere new. So she had to find a new apartment really rapidly. And she was forced to navigate all of these challenging situations with her family, but also learn how to declare her own needs, her own independence, and her own sovereignty at the same time. And now that she's done that, she's on the other side and is enjoying her life and her independence in her new place. She's got some awesome business opportunities coming up. She's seeing more clients than ever before. She's doing more group healings than ever before. So sometimes the universe gives us these challenges on a silver platter to really shake things up, get us out of our comfort zone, and help us to launch into the new. As hard as that may feel in the moment. Trust me, I've been there. It sucks in the moment. And that's why I made this video, to help you if you're in the middle of all of this and you're in the trenches, to know that you're not alone and to help give you some ideas of how to navigate it. So another thing to remember with all of this is that we do live in a universe of polarity. We have endings and beginnings, death and rebirth, physical and metaphorical death and rebirth. We've got light and dark. We've got the cycle of the moon. We've got the cycle of the seasons. We've got women's menstrual cycles. Everything is cyclical. Your life is also cyclical. And there's no way to avoid that, bypass that, or ignore that. So as a human being, you're going to go through cycles in your life, cycles of extreme happiness and joy and play. And yes, life is amazing. And also some rock bottom moments and some challenging moments and some heavy moments. But on the other side of those challenging moments, you find yourself going, up around the circle again and getting to another high. Again, but the other thing I don't want to reinforce is that life is always going to feel tough or challenging or hard. But I do need you to understand that you're a human being, and we're going to have to navigate tough situations. It's part of being human. Unfortunately, people in our life are going to pass away. Natural disasters are going to happen. Things are going to happen that are completely out of our control. And that's just part of the process. And at some level, we have to accept that. We have to move with it. We have to learn to flow with it. But on the other side of the challenge is the rebirth and the new and the creation and manifestation and all of that other beautiful stuff that we talk about in the spiritual community. But, if you come across any spiritual teachers who try to bypass navigating challenges in life, gloss over them, pretend that trauma doesn't exist, pretend that they're above it all, above the challenge, above the stress, run from that. Run in the other direction from people who try to preach that to you. I recently did a whole masterclass on Lucky Girl Syndrome, and by the way, you can purchase the replay for the Lucky Girl Syndrome masterclass. And in that, I talk about that. The fact that yes, we can be lucky, but we're also going to have moments where we feel unlucky. And we need those moments where we feel unlucky are the ones where we need to hold ourselves and love ourselves even more and learn to heal from those tough, traumatic moments when they happen so that we can enjoy the fun and the luck and the pleasure and the play on the other side of that. So, all of this leads to the fact that by holding yourself in a dark night of the soul and learning how to self-soothe, learning how to support yourself through finding the people in your life who will have your back, who can help you navigate all of this, and by learning new ways to cope with the challenge and the stress, you're going to find a whole new beautiful way of life for yourself on the other side. The death portal can only last so long. And on the other side, you will find yourself being reborn into something new. New way of being, new energy. And it may be really simple and really small, like perhaps manifesting a new apartment in your town. Or it could feel really life-changing and dramatic, like moving across the country and meeting the love of your life. But regardless of the cycle that you're in right now and what you're manifesting, you're going to learn a lot from it, and it's going to help your soul evolve in so many ways. Okay, now, one precursor that I would like to make to all of this is that if you feel like you are navigating a dark night of the soul, but it has felt like that for a long period of time, and no matter what you do, you cannot get yourself on the other side. Perhaps you've been navigating really challenging mental health crises, or perhaps you just feel really physically, energetically stuck in the mud. With your spiritual journey, you can't get out of the heaviness and the chaos, and you just feel like it's constantly around you at all times. There may be something energetically going on underneath the surface, above and beyond just the normal human life or death process and the human manifestation process. So what I mean by that is, again, if you are in constant emotional turmoil, constant pain that has been lasting for weeks and weeks, months and months. You can't get out of it. You can't seem to find the light. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, and you're getting to the point of desperation. It is very likely that you are unfortunately navigating an entity attachment. And I'll have to make a whole other video on entity attachments and what they are. But entities are low vibrational beings who feed off of low vibrational energies like fear, anger, chaos, challenge, rage, shame, guilt, etc. These lower vibrational, they're like astral parasites. They feed off of you and your energy field in order to fulfill their way of being. And it sucks. But having an entity attachment perpetuates the cycles of fear, the cycles of challenge, the cycles of chaos that you may be going through in your life. So if you feel like you've gone years without any relief, it is very likely that there is an entity at play who is contributing to the chaos and the challenge that is coming into your life. And releasing entities, I have a friend who is an expert in this. Shout out to Kristen, also known as the Underworld Queen on Instagram. She has done hundreds and hundreds of entity releases, and they change people's lives because entities exist. They exist from fear and pain. And so the collective shadows and the collective density causes entities to exist. And unfortunately, when we're pulled into that cycle, whether it be because of unhealed wounds in our shadow or traumas that we've been through in this life or a past life or any number of things, we can attract an entity who literally is at the energetic vibration that we are, and we become a host. Now, this is not to creep you out. And by the way, entities are different than poltergeists. Poltergeists are low vibrational ghost-like spirits that cause chaos in your home. Those are the things that we think of when we see movies about ghosts or movies about paranormal activity in one's home. Those are caused by poltergeists. Entities, you will likely not have any awareness that they are there other than the fact that your life constantly feels like it is in chaos. So, if you are navigating an entity attachment, I would encourage you to reach out to Kristen. You will feel a nudge. You will have a sense of knowing. You will just come to an awareness that that's what you need. But if you're like, that's not for me, not at this time, I know that this is just something that I'm going through, that's the precursor to my manifestation, then I'm going to share with you some really great tips and tricks for how to navigate your dark night of the soul that you might be moving through. So number one, you need to find a support person, a safe person in your life. And I encourage you to have at least one safe person, support person who can help you navigate this. This person is somebody that you can share with them what's going on without censoring yourself or without limiting yourself. This is somebody who does not feed off of your challenges, meaning they don't in turn dump their problems on you and ask you to take responsibility for their problems. This is somebody who you truly feel safe with and who you can feel comfortable in coming to them with anything about what's going on in your life. Now, I know for a lot of you, especially if you're new to the spiritual awakening journey itself, you may feel like, I don't have anyone right now. I can't lean on my family. I don't have a romantic partner or a spouse. I don't have any friends who are going through this. I don't know who that would be. That's when you're going to need to find a therapist or a mentor who will understand what you are going through. Having that person is going to be so key for you because they're going to help you and validate you and with what you're going through. They're going to help you give you guidance and advice with navigating everything that you have going on. Therefore, you're not dealing with this by yourself. I always have either mentors or coaches or therapists or friends or people in my field who I can go to talk about any of this stuff with. It's so important for me. When I was navigating the issue with my parents and quitting my job, I had a mentor who was the first person I went to tell her that I would quit my job and to receive her support and love and excitement about that. And you, if this is you, you're going to need somebody who you can really lean on. And I know, of course, we all need to cultivate that relationship with ourselves, but having somebody in our field is so important with helping to navigate this. One thing that I do for my one-on-one clients is I have a messaging service where they can send me voice notes about what's going on in their day and their week, and I can help them navigate that and give them advice and guidance for how they can move through that with more ease. So that's something that I do for my clients, and I feel like it's just such a nice service to know that there's someone who's always in your corner, who's always looking out for you, and who is there for you with everything that you have going on. Next, once you've got your safe person, your support person, and that could take some time, set the intention to call them in if you don't have them already in your corner. You need to return home to you, and you need to begin to go inwards and ask yourself, how is all of this making me feel? You're going to need to feel the feelings, you guys. If you've been avoiding the pain, you've been bypassing it or numbing out or dissociating from it through drugs or alcohol or shopping or food or whatever it is, you're going to need to eventually allow yourself to feel your feelings. This is where the support person, by the way, can help you with that and to help take some of that off of your plate, just to help you to move through it a little bit more easily. And as you're feeling your feelings, you also really need to consider, what are my needs at this time? And know that you have needs in the first place, whether that be a need for love and connection, whether that be a need for an emotional support person, or a need for financial support from somebody else, or financial assistance in the form of getting a new job, or finding some new sort of portal of money that you can open up. What are your needs? And then also, how can you meet those needs within yourself? And then how can you allow others to meet those needs for you? So we both need to learn how to meet our own needs, and we also need to learn how to rely on the help and support from other people. I say that because the majority of my clients are very self-sufficient, independent, freedom-seeking people who tend to bypass the desire to work with somebody else in order to lean on them, in order to feel safe. They'd rather just lean on themselves. So if you're like that, you're going to need to learn how to allow others to meet your needs. If you are very codependent and you're not very self-sufficient and you're very dependent on other people, you're going to need to learn how to meet your own needs, whether that be through self-love, connection, learning how to navigate your emotions on your own time, learning how to navigate your feelings, and so on and so forth. It's going to be important for you to learn how to do all of that. Next, I want you to think about safety and security in your life. So where are the places in your life where you feel really unsafe? Perhaps that's in a career, perhaps that's in a friend group, perhaps that is with a boss or a romantic partner that's no longer a good fit. Where do you feel unsafe? Safety and security is key for navigating a dark night of the soul. And in fact, some of those things that have made us feel safe in the past may be being ripped away from us because we've been in our comfort zone too long and we need to find something new on the other side. And if that's the case, your old safety resources may be shifting and changing. And so you're going to need to learn how to cultivate new places of safety, i.e., yourself and in your body. You're going to need to learn how to get in touch with your body by practicing deep breathing, by exercising, stretching, really getting in touch with the body and allowing your body to be a safe place to be. If you are navigating money challenges, how can you feel more safe with money? Perhaps you need to cut some expenses or sell some things or find a new side job or some new ways that you can start to feel safe with money. If you feel unsafe within your relationships, can you find a safe person to help you navigate the unsafe relationship? Can you ask for your needs to be more met? Can you communicate your needs and desires to that other person more clearly? How can you ensure that you feel safe exactly where you are? So really thinking about that, journaling on that will help you to come to some clarity around cultivating safety in your life. You're also going to want to cultivate safety by getting in touch with your inner child. Now, I have a whole video on working with the inner child that I'll make sure is linked below so that you can watch that as well. But spending some time with your inner child, asking them how they're feeling, how they're doing, what are their needs, that can really help you get in touch with where you may be feeling unsafe and what your needs are and how you can meet those needs by working with your inner child. Again, I'll make sure that you see the video on that because that will help provide some more clarity on everything that I've shared. At this time, it's going to be really important for you to be doing the deep healing work because it's going to help you to move through the external challenge and chaos of the dark night of the soul so much more quickly. So you're going to need to do the shadow work. You're going to need to go inwards. You're going to need to scan your belief systems to see which belief systems are not in alignment with where you are going. I have a whole video, couple of videos on shadow work that you can check out that will give you more clarity around that. But this is the time when you're going to need your healing tools the most, you guys. So make sure you have them. You can lean on them. You may need to join a healing container, a group mentorship, or a one-on-one mentorship with me or another healer in order to help find a process for that if you've never done this work before. Now, a couple of other small things too with navigating the dark night of the soul. In general, in your life, you're going to need to find small things that bring you joy. And maybe not even small things, big things too. You may need to find a really good book to read that will help you to have something fun to look forward to at the end of the day when life is feeling challenging. Perhaps cultivating a daily ritual where you drink tea and gratitude journal, that may feel really good. Perhaps finding a favorite TV show that you watch every once in a while, and I don't mean bypassing the healing work and ignoring yourself and your needs and your body in order to watch TV. That's not what I mean. But if you're doing the work, if you're staying on track and you just need something to have fun, a fun portal at the end of your day, then finding something to look forward to, like a great movie or listening to great music that really lights up your soul, is going to be a really beautiful thing for you to spark joy during the course of your day. And finally, above all, rest. Rest, rest, rest. The most important thing you need to do during a dark night of the soul is to rest. Get your sleep. Fill up your cup by, spending extra time in bed, taking more naps, like really making sure that you're resting, because energetically, you're also undergoing a lot of shifts in your astral body, in your energy bodies, in your auric field. So you may feel more tired, more drained, more exhausted than normal. And that's a totally normal part of the process. So you may find that you need extra rest in order to help navigate everything that you have going on. So that is my spiel on the dark night of the soul. Whether you're currently in one or you're helping a friend navigate one, I hope this video gave you some clarity on why it's happening, how to know that you're in one, and also how to move through it with a little bit more ease and a little bit more grace. Remember to always give yourself grace. You are human, and it's not going to feel easy, and it's going to feel challenging at times, but you're going to get through it regardless. You're going to be okay. You're going to be safe. So just allow yourself to be present with whatever you have going on, to feel all of your feelings, and also allow yourself to be supported by the people in your life. I got you. I'm happy to support you. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you feel like you need a group support system, to help you to navigate this process. I have an incredible group mentorship called the Embodied Priestess. It's a 12-week group container where I will be holding space for you and guiding you through doing the shadow work, doing the past life work, doing the examination of your belief systems so that you can let go of the old version of you that is no longer in alignment with where you're going, so that you can become the version of you that is in the vibration of the thing that you want to manifest, whether that be a soul-aligned business, letting go of your corporate career, making a career pivot, or calling in a soul-aligned relationship. This mentorship is going to be exactly what you need in order to feel fully safe and held in a container of group support to help you every single step of the way along that process. So check more information out about that located in the show notes below. And otherwise, I can't wait to see you in next week's video. Sending you so much love. Good luck with everything. And I love you. Have a good day.